bit about the letter 5071C that some of our clients are receiving from the IRS. For those of you all who haven't seen one yet, we will give you just a quick preview. If you'll notice up on the right-hand side, it does say letter 5071C, and of course it's going to have the Social Security number of the person and their name and the tax year of 2018. It also has a phone number right there in the heading that you can call in and get all this taken care of, or it also does have the idverify.irs.gov website, which I find was easier to do. So what exactly is this letter 5071C that everybody's starting to get from the IRS? Well, as everybody knows, there's an increasing number of taxpayers that are having problems with identity theft. We see the IP PIN letters all the time where they have to key in the PIN, where they have had problems in the past with identity issues. So now the IRS is stepping on their plan to try and prevent this, so they don't have to issue the number of the IP PINs like they are having to. So according to the information on the IRS website, the letter will state that they received a federal income tax return from the person with their Social Security number or their taxpayer identification number, and they want to verify the identity so they can process it accurately. I'm sure that everybody that has received and will receive these letters are going to say, why am I getting this letter? Well, some of the following reasons are, it's the first time you ever filed a tax return, or maybe you haven't filed in a few years, you have previously had an issue with identity theft, or maybe you're the current victim of identity theft, and the IRS may have picked up on one or more red flags in the return when you filed. Let's talk about that first possibility. You didn't file a tax return at all, but then you receive a letter from the IRS saying, hey, we received a tax return with your name and your tax identification number. Whether it's a Social Security number or an I-10, it doesn't matter. You need to contact the IRS as quickly as you can and let them know that you might possibly be the victim of a tax-related identity theft. So use one of the following options. You can go online to the idverify.irs.gov website, and it's pretty quick to do. It's secure, of course, and it's available 24 hours a day, so there's no problem if you have an odd work schedule. But if you'd rather call in, you can certainly do that also. The number for that is 1-800-830-5084. Now, they're only open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So one of those two options, you need to take it as quickly as possible so you can get this problem straightened out. Now, for those people who did file and get this letter from the IRS, be sure that you contact the IRS within 30 days of the date of receiving the letter so you can get your identity verified and get your tax return in the process so you'll actually receive a refund. You can again either go to the idverify.irs.gov website or you can call in. Now when you go online to do it, you do have to have several pieces of information that they're going to ask you about. Now of course you need your Social Security number, your date of birth, your filing status, and mailing address from your previous tax return. So the issue that I've experienced is someone had not filed for about 5 years. So they filed this year and they did get one of the letters. Well, luckily we had his address, so it was no problem. So we did have to put in his previous address, not the one he put on the tax return this year. You also need to have an account number from either a credit card, a mortgage statement, a student loan, a home equity loan, car loan, something like that to verify that you do have some other backup documentation. You also need to have a mobile phone, a cell phone, associated with your name. Now, in my situation, the gentleman I was trying to help did not have a cell phone in his name. He was on a plan with several other people, and his name was not on that plan. So we went through everything, and he actually still has to wait for them to send him some information in the mail. And they say it will take between 5 to 10 days for him to receive the verification information that he needs to go back online and complete the process. You also, of course, should have the letter with you, the 5071C. You should have that with you. And you should have your tax return that is identified in the letter that you received. Now, it's not talking about a W-2 form or a 1099 of any part of that. They're talking about a 1040 tax return. That's what you need to have with you, and you are going to key all the information in as they ask for it throughout the process. you do want to call in to try and get it taken care of, again, it's the same thing. Contact the IRS within 30 days of the date of receiving the letter so you can verify your identity. And by phone, if you can't verify online for whatever reason, give them a call at 1-800-830-5084. And remember, they're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. local time. So to get this moving along a little bit faster, when you call in, make sure you have the following information available. You, of course, have that letter, the 5071C letter, the prior year tax return, the tax return for the current year, and also any supporting documentation from each year's return, as in W-2 forms 1099, Schedule C, F, whatever was with your tax return. So you're going to want to have the current year and also the prior year's tax return if you're calling in to get this taken care of. So one more thing to talk about. If, for whatever reason, the person was unable to verify their identity over the phone or online, then the IRS may ask them to make an appointment at their local IRS office so they can verify their identity in person. Now, sometimes people have a language barrier or they just don't understand what the IRS is asking of them, so they can certainly use a person to help them. If they do, then we do suggest that they have an authorized power of attorney, which is the form 2848, and we also encourage that the person that has to do the identifying is there while the authorized person is answering the questions, just in case there are things that they need to ask them. If there's an unauthorized person helping, then chances are the IRS is going to ask to speak directly to the person who received the letter. And remember, this is just a great way to add some more customer service to our clients. We're going to have a lot of people with these letters, and again, when people receive a letter from the IRS, it's often very frightening. I know it is if it were me. So I'm going to have them come in. They're going to call you, ask them to come into the office, and you'll go over everything with them. And if they're prior year customers, you have all the information right there anyway. But if they're first year customers, still, you can help them with it. Just have them come into the office, explain what they need to bring with them, take a few minutes and go online with them, or call in for them, however you can do it, whatever's the easiest way. Some people don't have computers at home, but that really is the quickest way to do this. And remember, this is just another layer of customer service for our customers. And that's what we're all about, right? Winning customers for life. After everything has been authenticated, then it may take up to 9 weeks to receive the refund. And if there are other issues, then of course they may receive another letter asking them to send in more information. And of course, if they do get that, it's going to delay that refund a little bit more. So just be sure that you tell them all of this too, so hopefully it will head off any issues. One very important thing to remember, if you do receive the 5071C letter and you do not contact the IRS, they will not process your tax return, issue a refund, or apply the overpayment to next year's estimated taxes from this December's tax return until they have heard from you and can verify your identity. A couple more things in closing. If you want to get more information on the 5071C letter, go to www.irs.gov/5071C. And if you'd like to get more information about identity theft, go to www.irs.gov/individuals/identity-protection. The Taxpayer Advocate Service, the TAS, is an independent organization within the IRS that can help protect your taxpayer rights. The TAS can offer you help if your tax return is causing a hardship or if you've tried but haven't been able to resolve your problems with the IRS. If you qualify for TAS assistance, which is always free, TAS will do everything possible to help you. You can contact them by visiting taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov for more information.